Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura, and I am joined by Cristian Potalias. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Nice to see Joey again, and nice to see you, Rudy, again, once again.
Yeah, I was gonna say no Rodrigo tonight. No Rodrigo probably for the rest of the season, and we'll let him explain why. But Joey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
Oh, not too bad, man. It's been a while. Glad that you were able to join us last minute. For once, you weren't doing something, man, to kind of work that.
Right.
We should probably be watching the Astros, but since I really haven't watched them most of the season, what does one more day do? At this point, yeah. So,
They lose.
man, how you guys been, Christian? How you been, man? You been out partying it up or what?
I've been partying it up. Yeah, we just came back from yesterday. Actually, we came back from San Antonio. We went to San Antonio for the weekend with the family, like extended. I don't know if it's called extended family, but it's like my mom and my brothers, and each of them, with their significant others and stuff. But no, we had a great time. Just rented a house out there, spent the whole weekend with the family, kind of reconnected. With my brother living in Dallas, my other brother lives in Cyprus. My mom kind of lives far away too, so it's cool to kind of get back. Sometimes with the family and bringing in all the kids and all that. So no, but it was fun. It was fun. A lot of driving, but fun.
So you remember the Alamo then for sure?
Remember the Alamo. Shout out.
That's so funny, man. And how you been, man? Joey, I know you're starting to get busy, man, trying to get some gigs. Out and about.
Focusing on the music.
He's trying to get famous.
Hell yeah. That's what I do. Yeah, just been playing a lot of music lately. And on top of that, new Football Manager came out. So, my time is tied up.
Dude, he's busy, man.
That's busy. Yeah, no kidding, man. That stuff like that drives me nuts because it keeps you busy for sure.
So I just wanted to say that if anybody's looking for a scout out there in the world, Joey got y'all. He's probably one of the best scouts out there, Football Manager scouts.
Hey,
I mean, if Chile can do it in their national team and get what's his face, that English guy to play in Chile for a national team,
that's right.
I think Joey here can get some players out here.
That's true. Yeah, I just dominated preseason against this team.
That's hilarious.
He's so confident. Rapid in the Austrian division, 5-0 with Arsenal.
Shout out.
Shout out my boy Eddie and Ketty with a hat trick.
There you go. We're gonna have to start looking them up.
You're gonna make them famous, man. No kidding, dude. You're right. That's kind of how it goes, though. I'm telling you, like Christian, whenever Joey, whenever we recorded me and Christian for Encanchados, I made reference of FIFA. Basically, like you start learning players and stuff like that, through video games and stuff, just because
definitely
it opens it up, and then you go back, and when you see them live, you're like, oh snap, that's who you are, My
dude, it's awesome.
Mode legend, man.
Yeah, or the amount of times me and Dustin just know the most random players because of FM.
Yeah, dude, you just pick up people all the time, and I'm like, I kind of say why I picked up mine. Mine wasn't necessarily stats related. It was just the fact that they had like the the correct face to them. They didn't look like generic.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay, this guy is like 20 years old from Argentina. Cool, let's get him. And then eventually you notice that, oh man, he got dropped, and he's out there working at a restaurant nowadays, but he did good in career mode for a little bit, That's kind of how it goes, man. But
do they still have all the generic faces in the game? I haven't bought the new FIFA.
Yeah, they still have a lot of generic faces.
I remember the old ones when they'd have like Boniek Garcia. He was like a white guy one year.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, whenever the Dash players, I don't know if you remember, but the Dash players got into the game. Obviously, you had like Maria Sanchez. It looked like herself, and I forget who else. There was a couple, but then there were some that just looked like generic, and they were like, "I don't look like this, FIFA." And it was like, bro, yeah, I can tell you've never played FIFA in your life. It's like not everybody looks like themselves in FIFA. Come on, man.
You're lucky if you do.
Exactly, you are lucky if you do. That's why the only thing that was aggravating, especially like for my teams, like Chivas and Dynamo, they never really got like they at one point they were going through like each team. In Mexico they did like America, they did Pumas, they did Toluca thing. Like they did like 3 or 4 teams and they scanned everyone's faces. Oh, it's pretty badass because it's like, everybody looked like themselves. But then Chivas never did that. And then the Dynamo, they would just get players from other teams that got scanned. So like obviously you play now, you get Arthur, you get Ache. And I think that's pretty much it. Right? Oh, Daniel Stairs is there too. And Franco Escobar, I think that's who from the last one. I haven't played this new one. I'm not rich like that, man. I ain't got time like that.
Yeah, the only person I can remember who had a face consistently was Beasley.
Beasley, yeah, he had that's true. Yeah,
Beasley
because
looks like
the best player, man, ever, Brad Davis. He just had like big ears like this.
Yeah.
Like, dude with big ears. And I'm like, well, at least they kind of tried, like they got some, I guess features close to it, but yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But
video games.
Yeah, no, it's fun for sure. But talking about moving into the Dynamo, I think we're all really excited for this week, knowing that the playoffs are coming. Something that fans and just everybody surrounding the team, hasn't seen since 2017. Crazy that it's been 6 seasons since we haven't had playoffs, and the team, we know why. It's not like they haven't been really good. And it's like, oh my God, they missed last minute. I mean, they're pretty awful for what it was. And they got lucky to win a US Open Cup, that's the honest truth, and glad to get another one this year. But, moving into the playoffs, Joey, you know exactly what it is. You get into the playoffs, man, anything is possible, like it just, anybody gets a chance at it. But before we move into the series against Real Salt Lake, and before we go anywhere else, I do want to introduce you to one of our new sponsors or partnerships, however the definition is not there yet. But Ugly Guppy, man, this company owned by Carlos Aguilera, man, he reached out. Actually, they reached out a while back whenever we kind of were becoming Bayou City Soccer. And they were interested, man, in joining us for one reason or another. I think we were just trying to get everything kind of square, moving into this new independent phase that we were. And it doesn't matter at that point what, but man, this company here, they do basically anything when it comes to printing, embroidering, a little bit of everything, for your company, for whatever brand you're trying to showcase, man. They do a really good job, and I'll have more information soon about them in case you need to inquire for their services. But I just want to tease it out there that we're gonna have a couple shirts, man. Some shirts made by them. They're providing us, and we're hoping to have it for the game on Sunday. So we'll let you guys know through social media, maybe where you guys can find us. Maybe get you on the camera, ask you a couple questions, and give you one of these cool shirts that we're getting from Ugly Guppy. So super excited for this partnership, and man, sky's the limit, man. We're gonna start seeing some crazy designs. Sure enough, being created. Maybe some cool shirts. We'll get one for Joey Stats or something, that we can have out there for people to buy. So really exciting news there. And can't wait to see the final product. It's like I know what the logo looks like. I created the logo, but I want to see the final product, and so yeah, exciting for that. And Christian, I guess too, let's just go ahead and start with Boat League, man. You were there this weekend. Tell us a little bit of what you saw, and yeah.
5 games this week. Let me pull it up real quick. I was actually typing something up, so we'll have also a little recap also in a written form. But we had 5 matches this weekend. We had Houstonians, the legendary Houstonians, the youth club here in Houston. Unfortunately, they didn't have a great time as they took on the champions AC Juniors. They lost 7-2 on that one. So obviously kind of one-sided, but I mean, to be fair with them, AC Juniors has a really, really well-oiled machine as a team. And Houstonians, they kind of seemed, they were still kind of getting their team together. So that was their first game. So hopefully as the season goes on, they're able to get back, get their form and stuff like that. MAFC, Matias Almeida's football club, they also put a nice little beat down to Ghost on Saints.
That one's super surprising, man, because Saints look good, and this team it's professional to the T, man.
Yes, they train and everything. Yeah, both teams do actually. I've seen both of them training and this and that. So I mean, some of these guys, they're taking it serious. Obviously, a lot of these guys, they're looking to, in the future, trying to move up to the next level. So this is a really good, platform to kind of get themselves out there. But yeah, it was a 6-2 victory for MAFC, Matias Almeida. Against the Saints, Houston Rovers against International. That one, even though, I'm going to shock you with the scoreline, which is a 7-0, but then when you're, I was kind of watching the game a little bit, the whole first half, it was 0-0. It was just that Inter only had 11 players on the field. They didn't have any subs, unfortunately, and anything like that. And I'm lying. They started with 10 players. So they played with 10 players the whole first half, 0-0, goalkeeper a beast. He got a red card in the second half, the goalkeeper, so they had to have one of the field players get a goal. Obviously, not the same.
Yeah.
And the goal started coming in about minute, I think it was like 60, 65. So they held on pretty good. And then, just in from minute 70 on, that's when, Rovers just kind of turned it on, and they just, everything that kind of went towards goal kind of went in. So it was, even though, 7-0 obviously sounds crazy, International just kind of, put in a nice effort the whole first hour of the match. And then towards the end, they just didn't have the legs to kind of come back for anything. Second to last game of the night was Green Flag FC. They lost 3-1 to AFC Nightwatch. Nightwatch still undefeated.
Shout out to Hooties.
He was out there. I said what's up to him. He's going to be out there on Sunday at the Dynamo Stadium. He's part of El Batallón, so he's one of those guys over there with the flags and, the whole singing and chanting. So, say what's up to El Batallón too. But yeah, FC Nightwatch, really good shift. The game was pretty even, 1-1 throughout most of the game. And then towards the end, FC Nightwatch was able to get through. And this also was kind of crazy game because in the second half, in the beginning, at the end of the first half, one of the players for Green Flag went down. I think he had collided with somebody else during the match. And then just randomly, he fell to the ground, and people were trying to, help him out and stuff like that. And the kid, Omar, he was like, "Oh, I don't know where I'm at." And they were like, "Wait, what? What's going on?" So they had to call an ambulance, make sure he was good. He couldn't stand up. They had to literally physically carry him out. The last time I heard, he was doing all right. So, we still need to get updates on him. And then they had two more injuries. One of the defenders, Gomez, who had a really good match last game, he was touching his knee a lot, and then he ended up sitting down with a bag of ice in his knee. And then Makoni, who also plays on the wing, he came out actually in the first half. And then since they didn't have any more subs, he had to go in for Omar to kind of, take over his spot, but then he wasn't able to run because of that hit that he had on his leg. So 3 guys were out, and then a 4th guy actually went to the hospital with Omar to just make sure he was all right, because, there was nobody there to kind of go with him. Sure. So they lost 4 guys in the span of 10 minutes. And that's where FC Nightwatch was able to kind of, score those 2 at the end. But Green Flag, they held on pretty good. They weren't able to hold on for that long. And then the last game of the night was Frankfurt against Seinfeld.
That one was crazy, man.
That one was insane.
That was crazy.
Yes. So Seinfeld started off by winning. They were
up 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah, they were up 1-0. Frankfurt tied it up. And then minute 85, if I'm not mistaken, Seinfeld goes up 2-1. And then, even me, I was calling the game and I was like, oh, this is pretty much a done deal. They just got to hold down for 3-4 more minutes and, call it a day, call it a night, get the 3 points, go home. And then number 17, forget it, Guzman, if I'm not mistaken, he did like a solo run. He beat like 3-4 guys, left them, like in the way. And then he scored the equalizer I think it was minute 87. And then minute 88, same thing. They get the ball. He runs forward. Guzman piles up a couple of guys, gets like a rebound in the box, and he puts a 3-2 for Frankfurt in the 89th minute. So literally a comeback right after a comeback. And it was just an insane like 5-minute period where there's just like a bunch of goals. And then Seinfeld almost kind of tied it up towards the end. So it just got crazy. But at the end of the day, Frankfurt came out with a victory 3-2 against FC Seinfeld. And that was Gold League match week 2.
Some good stuff, man. Joey, do you guys have something like that over there in New Mexico?
I don't think so. I know we have some like rec leagues you could play like on like Sunday mornings and stuff, but nothing like super big like that.
Yeah. Obviously learning more about it and all the stuff that Sebastian does, or did to create this bowl league is pretty incredible. Just, it does take a lot of work. I think in the beginning of the season, like Christian, you mentioned, some teams are still trying to kind of get a full squad together. There's obviously some that've been doing it for a while, like for, Night Watch, with AC Juniors, Ghost Town Saints.
Yeah.
And then these new academies coming in, Matias Almeida and Houstonians. Some of them are gonna find their feet faster than others, and but it's really fun to see, man, for sure. Bowl league, definitely go out there, go catch a game. If you're in the area, it won't disappoint, or check it out on the stream, man. And either maybe you'll catch Christian commentating on them. Maybe not this weekend because we're busy, but
I got work too.
Yeah, this weekend's gonna be crazy because Christian's gonna work and then may go to the game. Are you going to the game? Maybe.
I'll probably have to go to the game, and I have to actually work overnight. So
wow.
I'll probably go to the game. I mean, it's a good thing that the game's at 5 p.m.
Sure.
Because then literally right after the game, I'll probably have to go to work.
There you go, man.
Kind of sucks, but I guess I'll be able to watch my first playoff game, bro.
Yeah. Let's get it done. But let's move into talking Dynamo now for real. Let's get your thoughts, Joey, of the final match of the season. Pretty convincing win. Portland Timbers out. Nice stuff, man.
That was best road performance against the Timbers we've ever had, really. I mean, in terms of overall performance, it was better than the 2017 win in the playoffs. I mean, obviously, that was more of an impactful win because of the situation, but yeah, that was definitely the best we've ever played in Portland, because usually even when we get a draw, we look horrible doing it. So, yeah, it's just a testament of what Ben has done with this team and the way he's now gotten the team to now just perform at home, but now to perform on the road as well. And it's just a huge leap in the team. Like we were talking about it the other day in the chat that we don't know how far we're going to go in the playoffs because we still haven't gotten over that hurdle of winning on the road. And look what we just did. We just got a draw against Montreal on the road. We beat Portland on the road, and we won the cup final on the road. So looks like we're starting to beat that hurdle, and it's at the perfect time as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were all, you're hopeful to get a win just because of how good the team has been doing. But just seeing the fact that you're going to play in Portland, which is already a tough place to play, and then against a Portland that was hungry because they really needed a win to make it into the playoffs. So you already kind of like are thinking, man, I don't know if the Dynamo can actually get something out here. And just seeing the way they played, seeing your boy Griffin Dorsey, man, just keep just being so, I don't know, just doing work on that side of the field is pretty incredible. And obviously getting himself a couple goals, and then Carrasquilla not shooting till the third shot, basically, but hell, it went in. That's all that matters, man. So it's definitely good to see Christian, huh?
Yeah, I mean, somewhat of a masterclass, I would say. I mean, obviously, maybe I'm exaggerating, but It was a really good game. I mean, the way that the ball was being moved. I mean, there were some times that I didn't watch, like here and there, but I watched maybe 80% of the match. And I mean, just Dorsey, he's been killing it. I mean, there's already kind of throwing talks out there about a national team call up. That's not my call. I don't even watch the U.S. men's national team, so I'll just let the other experts talk about that. But I mean, the guy has been impressive. He's literally done a 180 when it comes into his career. A lot of people are calling him to the best 11. A lot of crazy things. I mean, to see a guy that wasn't even starting in the beginning of the season to now, scoring very important goals for this team, away from home and at home, it's just insane, right? And the team as a whole, I mean, it's just insane the way that they're moving the ball around. I'm one of those guys that I've always talked about how I love watching pretty soccer, sex on the field. But and it's just what we see, right? Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. When you watch beautiful soccer like that, when you see the ball just being swinged around, from one side of the field to the other, getting all the players involved, the defenders, pushing forward. It's just, I mean, all you got to do is just smile and just enjoy the game, and just doing that in Portland, where as Joey was saying, it's been a difficult place in our history period to go out there. It just gave it an extra.
Yeah, it's since the 2017 playoff match. Obviously, that was an away game there, but it hadn't been since 2011 since the Dynamo won a regular season game in Portland. That's incredible. And you're right. I think it's one of those things that this season it seems like records are being broken, or just new I guess new records are being set, whether it be Acha with assist, or Steve Clark with clean sheets. I mean, it's just all around, this is a good team that you see the chemistry, you see how much they like each other. I think it's a good team environment. So testament to whatever Ben Olsen and his coaching staff are doing, man.
Sure. And they look more professional. I mean, I don't know about previous years, but it just didn't feel the same. The same, like what you said. Maybe because they like each other, they kind of learned how to work with each other. And they just look more pro, like in every aspect of the things that they do. And also, going to like individual players, like having Hector Herrera basically just kind of raises the bar for everybody else. Him being the captain, him being the guy that kind of dictates how everything goes. Having Steve Clark in the goal. You have somebody with experience, you have somebody with the loud voice, you have somebody that people respect, and then you have Glenn Davis. Also mentioning the fact that you have people like Shevchenko, playing as a center back. That also gives you that that European class, that European professionalism in the back row. That maybe people like Teenage Hadabi, like, yeah, he's a great player, but maybe he never played at the level that this is. Obviously this is the MLS. It's not Premier League. It's not La Liga. It's not whatever you want it to be. But I think the MLS, little by little, obviously you want to strive to be like those teams. You want to strive to be Champions League level teams or whatever it may be, right? And I think little by little, if you strengthen those lines, like as they did this year, with Hector Herrera in the midfield, there are third people that know what they're doing and have been doing it for a while at a high level. It's just going to make everything better. And then you have people that are hungry. You have Dorsey, who's hungry on the right side. You have kids like Quinones, who still young. I still think he needs a little bit more, but at least you see some type of hunger in them. You have people like Coco Carrasquilla, who has played, in Europe, is here in Houston, but it feels like we all know that he's playing to go back to Europe. So he's always going to give his, 100% when it comes to that. So it's the perfect situation where you have experience, you have hunger, you have people that really want it, and you have people that are winners, that they know what it is to lift a trophy, and they want to continue to lift trophies, from the coaching staff to the players on the bench. Like, you want winners, And I think that's a good mix of people that is needed. So I'm excited to see postseason. Honestly, I don't expect anything else than this. So I'm happy, and I'm glad to where we're at. And I'm excited to see what next year is going to bring. I mean, if we're just going to keep this team getting stronger and stronger, competing in an international competition, and all the other cups that will come, I think it's a giant plus, and I'm super excited.
Dude, I love that you'd say that because I think that's the feeling that I have as well. I don't know if Joey, kind of feels the same way, but the fact that they made it to the playoffs, something that we have been wanting forever, right?
Yeah,
And they've exceeded our expectations. I mean, we can go
by
back
far.
and, nobody thought that we're going to make it to the playoffs. I mean, it's just one of those that there's going to be a lot of changes. There was a lot of questions. So the fact that they did the opposite, making all the way fourth in the West, as well as winning the U.S. Open Cup, everything else from now on, the playoffs is basically gravy at this point. It's like you don't know if they lose the first round, it is what it is. If they win MLS Cup, you're like, holy shit, it's it's just kind of like the both scenarios are still fine with me to an
Yeah,
extent. It's but Joey, I mean, we know again the expectations were pretty damn low. So them surpassing it, I mean, it's just there you can't just say it was because of Ben Olsen, it was because of the players. I mean, it's definitely a big collaboration part of it, but man, how exciting is it to see them what they're doing right now, dude.
Oh, it's just super exciting, no one even expected to make the playoffs, so now we're here. And now I think it's best to just have no expectations, to just enjoy it. And, pick off what Chris was saying about the experienced players and the young players. It's going to be a great learning experience for a lot of these young guys, and a great way for these veteran guys like Herrera and Artur and Sviatchenko to show these young players how these playoff games like pan out. I think it's a huge opportunity, great for the future, just to get in the playoffs. If we go out in the first round, we go out in the first round. It is what it is. But I think it's all just a great learning experience. It's really good to set up the future for this team. Because I mean, look how good we are now with Dorsey only playing about half a third of the season,
yeah,
Yeah.
and still not even having that real key striker in there. And
Yeah,
look what we're doing.
and I mean, just to obviously we know that he was plays as a right back right now, and even whenever he wasn't getting playing time, Daniel Steres, if it wasn't for him, we also would have like the players that kind of came in and were playing and I was gonna say quote unquote, but no, yeah, they were playing out of position, for a lot of the matches, and they were still able to perform and get clean sheets or find ways to get points. So Daniel Sayers again was a day one starter for like what a third of the season, and then out of nowhere you start seeing the shift of moving Escobar to the left, and then having Dorsey to the right, and just making the team dangerous just in all aspects, and then Sviatchenko moving in to take part of center back. We've seen how good Mikel has worked with Teenage being out, so it just creates some really good depth pieces to have for the playoffs, and knowing that you have home field advantage, in the first round, that's big because we mentioned it already. I guess you shouldn't really play with any pressure at this point. You already, hit what people weren't even expecting you to be the playoffs. So the fact that you're getting home field advantage, just they should kind of enjoy it, play free, and try to do their best. And I mean, we know how good they can be. They're in a good level. All these guys are healthy, so it should be pretty fun to watch, Joey.
Yeah, you spoke about Teenage and Mikel. This is an interesting point now. What do we do with Teenage? Because he's not in the lineup right now.
Yeah, and his contract is up.
His contract's up. He's a designated player. That could be the opportunity to bring in that striker if we can't move
right.
Sebas. It's an interesting thing. Because Mikael has really came into this role and he's just been great. So
And you
I
have
think
Ethan Barlow that just got renewed, and he's
Ethan
done
Barlow.
it right. He
he's done a solid
bad.
job.
Yeah,
It's I joke
tough
around. He's a big
decisions.
check down guy, but I mean, it's players that you need. You just need players that can be consistent. You don't need everybody to be, the MVP of the team, but if they can work their role and do a good job, it's pretty fun to watch. But yeah, teenage is gonna have a big question mark. Will he be okay, getting less money or getting a contract reworked so he's not a DP or not even a GAM player?
Damn.
Is he gonna be okay with that? Yeah. Is he gonna be okay with that? Well, we'll see. I mean, he looks to love the city. I mean, if they're winning, maybe he's okay with it. You don't know. But soon enough, the playoffs come and go pretty quickly. So there's gonna be a lot of moving pieces, man, for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, you also know Corey Baird. Also, obviously, his contract is up. So
And
what
he
you
stepped
do with
up.
him? He's one of those guys that was perfect, like made perfect to fit into the system. As we know. So what do? It's gonna be a lot of question marks. But I think the great thing about it is that a lot of the main pieces that were brought in still have a couple years. Obviously, like Arthur got an extension. I mean, that dude has been the MVP, if not close to the MVP for the team. I mean, just how much he's helped like Ache, do his thing. And then we know Coco Garcia, he's most likely going to be gone in January. You can just probably feel that happening. So it's fun, man, to start thinking a little bit of that general manager and everything because you also are already in the Champions Cup. So, you're going to be playing international soccer too. So,
yeah, we're gonna need the
should be fun.
depth.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you get teenage on a much more team friendly contract. Imagine how good that depth will be.
And I think he'll be down for it. I mean,
Yeah, I hope so. I
too.
mean,
I think so too.
he's coming off a big injury. He
Yeah.
hasn't always performed to expectations here. He's been good, don't get me wrong, but he's not always performed to how good we know he could be. So, I mean, is another team going to go and pay him the money that he's making now? Probably not. So, I think it's a good opportunity to have a real quality depth at center back.
He gets paid what, like 2 million, right? I mean,
Not
I'm
even.
not sure. No, not even.
No.
So it should be all right then. Because I mean, most of these guys that I don't know numbers a lot, but I mean, don't they
I'll
get
look
like
at
I'm
teenage
looking right now.
makes about $1.25 million.
and what would drop
Yeah,
him, like what
1.12
would be the
million.
drop?
He's
Well,
the third highest
he
paid
already right
player in
now
the
could be
Dynamo.
a TAM player if they bought him
Yeah.
Yeah,
down.
so
If they want to get him below that threshold, I believe he'll need to be below, I want to say 650
Yeah.
to make him not a TAM. I mean, if we could get him on like 800, and that's a pretty small TAM deal, then I think we're golden.
it's doable, I
And
guess.
I mean,
it
just looking at that,
depends.
like again, talking to players like that were brought in, Arthur is the fourth highest paid player, and he's making only about 30,000 more than Matias Vera, who's in the bench in Argentina. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's insane, yeah. That's
It
gonna be a
just kind
good.
of
That's gonna be a good plus right there because if you can get rid of that money,
right. And I mean, he just got a contract extension, so I'm sure he's getting paid more now for next year. Yeah,
He's not.
He's not.
That's his contract right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
this was updated.
oh yeah, this one
This
was
was
from
updated like
September.
a
You're
few
right.
days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
So
believe that is the max. The max before you're a TAM player is at 650. I think that confirms it right there.
okay, then there you go. But yeah, it's just incredible. Obviously you have like I'll tell you who was a steal right here. Eric Sviatchenko. I mean, the dude is not even making like 500,000. Chase Gasper stealing from the team at this point, man. He's
Yeah,
making.
well,
Chase.
he's not affecting the cap in that way though.
He's not, but you know what I mean. Like
He did.
he's
In
getting
his
paid just
defense,
below what Sviatchenko is, and it's
in his
it's the
defense, he
Galaxy
just
that's
stepped
paying
up.
him though.
true.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's just Nelson Quinones. I mean, that dude is $250,000. Griffin Dorsey, $165,000, bro.
And his contract's up.
And he's
That
gonna
boy needs
get a
to
good
get
amount
paid.
of money.
I mean other than teenage, that's the key move for the offseason is extending him.
Yeah.
I mean, he earned the pay raise. He should be on 350, 400K with the way he's playing.
I agree.
Damn.
Yeah. Which is again is not even it's double what he's making now, but it's still like
I mean that's pretty average for a starting fullback in the league at this point.
That's so much money, bro.
Bro.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, he deserves it. He's
it's
a
no, yeah,
full-time
yeah.
starter in a
I agree.
top playoff team who won a cup,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
crazy.
But
It's crazy.
for a regular human being like me, that's
Oh,
Oh,
so
bro,
yeah.
funny.
we're
To them, it's like,
veteran.
just
No, not
chunk,
even
chunk, chunk.
veteran minimum. We're just in the minimum, bro.
Yeah, I'm not even minimum of the minimum.
We're in the $6,000 range over here.
That's crazy. But I mean, yeah, hey, shit. If they earned it, I mean, they make so many people happy. Pay them. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
we're
but
over here
yeah,
talking about them.
if once you
Pay
start
the
playing
man.
general manager, there's definitely gonna be some movement, like we know, but
Yeah.
I don't expect it to be like last season, obviously, which I think was a much needed,
Yes.
hard reset, let go basically of everything that is just not, you just want to start fresh. And I think they did a hell of a job, dropping the players that they dropped, even some of them that, maybe you're like, oh man, it sucks to see them go. But at the end of the day, man, it's a business and you have to do what's right for the team to be able to
Yeah.
win something. And they did already. Again, the US Open Cup, man, you got another one. Not a lot of teams out there have them, not even in Texas, so
That often.
there's not many teams out there that they have a trophy, and so it's great to see. I'm excited. For this playoffs for sure. And then next year it's already exciting because there are going to be more competitions. Obviously you're back in the US Open Cup. Now it really makes you think if there's going to be another Leagues Cup or not. Who knows how they'll define that. I mean, I'm sure
I'm
they
pretty sure
want
that's
it.
already. I think it might already be confirmed that there's
Yeah,
Leagues Cup
I
next
think
year.
I saw the other day that they mentioned, like, I don't know where I was looking at the calendar and it already kind of sets it apart for for the 2024 Leagues Cup. But it's just funny the way it is. But I think the Dynamo being in fourth place and going against RSL was probably the best matchup that they could have gotten. Not just because you've already beat RSL. Obviously, you beat them in US Open Cup. You beat them at
Regular season.
away, and you beat them at home too. So you beat them 3 times, right? Am I? Yes.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, all three matchups you beat them. But it's not even about that. It's the fact that they also have a ton of injuries. So it's one of those that Houston is healthy. Everybody seems to be there. This international break did not affect them much. Again, they went out there to Portland and just beat them 3-1. So should be fun. And if I'm gonna be selfish, I want the Dynamo to win it in 2 because I'm gonna miss game 3 if necessary. So I want them to go ahead and win at home on Sunday and then beat RSL away, man. So um Joey, let's start with you, man. Just your thoughts on what Houston needs to do, man, on Sunday. We'll just go with this game coming up, man. What do they need to do to take advantage of home field and be able to get the win?
I just got to keep doing what they've been doing. I mean, why change anything? We've been winning every game at home. We've been dominating RSL every time we played them. So there's really not much to change. I mean, the key is just going to be get Herrera on the ball, work it out wide to Dorsey and Nelson, the usual stuff. Get Bassi a little more involved than he was against Portland. Coco's got to continue off where he just left off, scoring and assisting. I mean, it's really the formula is there. It's just we got to continue to replicate it.
I think
Yep.
as a Houstonian right now that we're recording, Houston Astros are losing 11-3,
Shout
game
out the
7.
Astros.
So
Thanks, Luke.
I feel bad for the Astros, but then again, that kind of leaves a full spotlight, for the Dynamo and shoot, I guess the Texans if you want to talk about NFL. But this shouldn't be an excuse to try to get that stadium to at least close to full capacity. I know it's a Sunday game, 5 o'clock Central. People are gonna whine that it's a Sunday and they have to go to work or school on Monday. But come on, man, we've waited 6 years for this to happen. You're not guaranteed for them to make it to the playoffs next year. So, and you kind of want to see people out there for sure.
So Minute Maid has a capacity of 41,168, which includes 5,197 club seats and 63 luxury suites. We can get 22,000 people at, I was going to say BBVA, at Shell Energy. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, no,
Let's
I
back it
agree,
out.
man. I agree.
Sunday afternoon.
I agree,
We
man.
can do this.
It's one of those, man. You
It's
need to
literally across the street from Minute Maid Park. So
yeah.
don't
I
come
mean,
at me that
the
it's
Dynamo
far.
tried their hardest to make their logo look like a baseball symbol. Like, just get in
Come on,
there.
guys. We're
You know,
trying.
you think you're gonna get another 9 inning game or something? Just get in there. And you'd be like, where the John Travolta guy just kind of looking around, like, where am I? You know, like it's like, oh, it's a soccer game, not a baseball game, idiot.
Like the what's it called? The freaking the entertainment's already included. El Batallón will be there. You
Yeah,
know, the search will be there. I mean, there's gonna be chanting, singing. I mean, it gets lit, as the kids would say.
sure.
So yeah, just let's make it out there, man. I mean, I think the Dynamo will win it in two, but you know, it'll be cool to have three.
Yeah, and obviously first round. Well, actually, the wild card gets played. Is it Wednesday? Are both
Wednesday,
games
yeah.
on
Yeah,
Wednesday?
it's Wednesday.
You're
Both
Yeah.
games. So there's a play-in on Wednesday, and then the first round is a 2 out of 3 with games basically ending in penalties. If in 90 minutes it's still a draw.
That's fun.
Leagues Cubs way. To me,
Full American.
yeah, I don't hate it. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't hate the
Yeah.
idea of it,
It's best of 3. I like it.
right?
Yeah.
With the
Why not?
penalties.
Have
To
fun.
me, I still think that you could have done extra time because they're playing like basically 5-6 days later. It's not like they're
Yeah, but
playing
that's a
every.
little too
Yeah.
much though. Extra time's boring. I think everyone just hates extra time.
Well, they could do like golden goal, like old school too. You know,
They need to just cut extra time out of
just
everything
go
but the
straight to
World
PK.
Cup.
Yeah, I agree. Even the
Really?
World Cup, honestly.
No, the World Cup could keep the extra time
Like,
because it's always that's intense, you know.
Maybe
Yeah.
finals, like just the final should have extra time, but
Hey,
everything else should just be
didn't
just
Germany
PKs.
score in extra time against
Hey,
Argentina?
bro, there's no
Oh,
need
sorry.
for you to like, you know, bring past wounds.
Hey,
It's all
at
right,
least
man.
I got
You
one
guys just won
eventually.
the World Cup, so it's fine.
Hey, also, you know, Argentina did well, we did win in extra time, but we did win on PKs last
That's
World
true.
Cup. So
That's true.
that are PKs.
Yeah, the famous Bobo, give me that Bobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. No, but I like this setup. Obviously, something we've seen, you know, as we follow Dynamo Dos, we've seen it a lot in MLS Next Pro. So, don't hate it. Don't necessarily like fully love it, but I understand. I think if it was like they played and then 3 days later they play again, then I'd be okay fully with it. But because there's so much time in between those games, I'm okay with extra time, you know. But it is what it is, I guess, at that point. Now, will there be? They should, if anything, maybe they should do extra time on the final game if necessary. You know,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just the final.
just the final, the third
Just the
leg. You're
final.
right.
Right.
That would make.
Or no, I'm saying like just the final.
Oh, no.
Yeah, these games.
Yeah. Well, but it's the other ones. They go to extra time. I'm pretty sure, right, Joey? Like after the first round, don't
Yeah,
they
after the first round, the
Oh,
first
they do?
round is just best of 3. Then the rest of it is single elimination.
Yeah, because the single elimination, they'll go to extra
Yeah, they
time.
go to
Gotcha,
extra
gotcha.
time.
But I'm saying, like, if you're making best out of 3, if you're already, like on the third match, I think you should go to extra time there, extra time and then penalties.
Yeah, I can see
It
that.
could-
You know,
could
just
be.
because at that point is like basically all or nothing. You know, I think it'll
Yeah.
make it even more interesting. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, Joey, what are you thinking for this game? You know, on Sunday, dude. What are you thinking your prediction is?
I think we're gonna win and win convincingly. I'm gonna go with a 3-1. I think we're just gonna dominate them. I don't think they're gonna have much of a chance. Their midfield's pretty weak with can't remember the guy's name. The midfielder. They're a really good midfielder. I can't remember his name. Who's out?
Ojeda?
Is Ojeda out? Not him. The other guy. The guy
Is it
who usually
Reese?
dude.
I'm trying to pull it up myself.
I'm like really blanking here.
Yeah, me too.
He's been out for a while.
He's
He's been out injured for like the season, I believe, for like the last like 2 months.
Yeah,
God, what is this guy's name? That's
I'm
bugging me.
blanking.
Pablo Ruiz. Okay.
Yeah, I said Reese. Anyways.
Did you?
Yeah, that was the second name I threw out there.
Oh god.
But
Yeah, without him around, I think we dominate the midfield that we had
Arango's
the last
hurt.
time.
Chicho's hurt. Yeah.
Is Chicho not going to play?
That's
Well,
plus.
it shows it as a injury, and last time I checked, I don't think he played much.
I feel like they'll rush him back if they have to.
Yeah.
But that's huge if he's not in. And
Yeah.
they have some dangerous players behind him too. Basovsky's dangerous. Rabin could be dangerous. Krylov, he's not the only guy who could score goals.
Yeah, Chicho didn't play against. I mean, and they struggled, man. He didn't play it against Colorado, and they barely won 1-0 against Colorado. So, yeah,
but they've got dangerous players on that team. Luna's been scoring goals this year.
They had that young guy. I think he played with the Real Monarchs. Oh man,
Are you talking about Diego Luna?
No. It was like a French kid. Like his last name was like a French name. Oh my god, you know who I'm talking about?
Yakusin.
Yeah. That kid like came out playing very well, and then he disappeared. I guess he probably got called back up to or down. I mean,
I'm not sure what happened to him either.
Because whenever he came in, he was doing really good for Real Monarchs, and he came in, and I was very surprised. I think that was one of the first times we saw them was whenever they played Houston and at home. Where? Yeah, I don't see him. Oh yeah, there he is. Berting Jackson. Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah, I guess he didn't really.
I can't pronounce these French names. I got you guys with the Polish names.
You got the Polish ones.
With the
Polish and the Denmarks and all that.
Yeah. He actually, I don't know if he's injured. It doesn't say, but his last game was against Monterrey in Leagues Cup. So interesting. That's as far as it goes down. So, interesting for sure. Anyways, what about you, Christian? What are you thinking, man, for Sunday?
Sunday, I think also a win. Maybe I was thinking 3-0, clean sheet.
Nice.
Staying nice.
Yeah, I think the Dynamo have to win. I think they're just showing better rhythm, unless something completely just full on collapses, like maybe 3 on goals or something like that. I just don't see. I just don't see. Yeah, it's like,
you gotta be careful with overconfident. Like being overconfident, that can bite you in the butt.
For sure.
If we score 3 own goals, we knew who we're coming after.
Yeah, Mikel. Sorry. But no. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think I'm gonna predict the win as well for this first home playoff. And hopefully the crowd is in it. Hopefully there's a good amount of people. Not that the team necessarily will do bad if it's not a full crowd, just because we've seen it been done. But I would love to see more Houstonians out there, more people filling the stadium. You probably heard my story about I've always followed the Dynamo. I really like the Dynamo. I've like soccer is like the sport that I first came to love and obviously still love. But going to those playoff games in 2017 just completely like shifted my world into just focusing on the Dynamo. So I'm sure there'll be people kind of the same spectrum as I was back in 2017. So it'd be fun to see, man. It'd be fun to see. Christian, what are you twirling? Because like you can't see nothing.
Oh, this right. my chain.
Oh, I was like, I literally you just see your fingers go like this, like without anything. So it just tripped me out. Thought you were
you can't see it. Or no?
Yeah, I can see it there.
Oh.
But whenever you were higher, like you could only see your fingers. I was like, what is he doing? I thought you were trying to ask a question or something.
No, good.
But yeah, no, I think we're super excited, man. I think we deserve some playoffs, man, in Houston for sure.
Yes.
Guys, anything you guys want to mention that I probably left out, or anything that you guys want to touch on? I was thinking of maybe talking about like, going back and talking about our predictions and our MVPs and all this stuff, but
it's bad.
It's bad, but I think we still have time. We should
do a round table.
Go back whenever the season's officially over for the Dynamo,
Definitely.
hopefully after they win MLS Cup.
Yeah, so we got to see how the whole season play out, because we also have the predictions for the MLS playoffs and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yes, sir.
MVP
Exactly.
and whatnot for the league. So
Yeah, that's for sure, man. But Christian, man, tell the people how they can connect with us, dude.
Yes, sir. You can find us at Bayou City Soccer, BayouCitySoccer.net. That's the website. You can find Rudy at Rudy Segura 3. You can find me at Christian Putaleas. You can find Joey at Joey Chabala 10. And Rodrigo, who's at MIA for a little bit. You can find him at Rodrigo Segura 01. Let's throw Manny out there. Manny Vela 4. And Dustin at Dustin Richardson with no O, or you can just hit him up on Twitter. But yeah, at Bayou City Soccer, at BayouCitySoccer.net. Don't forget, we're doing a bunch of articles there. We just started doing more of the Boat League stuff, ratings after the matches that Joey just did, a bunch of other stuff. Don't forget breakfast links and this and that. A bunch of cool stuff. And obviously now with the playoffs, we'll try to get a little bit more stuff going on. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, look for us on Sunday. We'll keep check our social medias. Again, we're expecting to have some shirts to give away. So look for us on Sunday. And I was gonna say something. Oh, talking about predictions. Obviously, before when the season started, Christian, you, Rodrigo, and myself, we did kind of literally went through you remember we went through like each game and just said win, draw, loss. And I gave the team ending in 4th place, Christian in 6th place, but Rodrigo hit 4th place, and it was like dead on the wins, losses, and draws. So shout out to him, because that was pretty funny.
Wizard.
Now we don't look like crazy people anymore, right?
Right?
I mean, giving the team that they're gonna make the playoffs, even though we were still. It was funny because when we did that exercise, we were very like, man, really? That's how many points they got? Like, we were very like surprised, just because again we just didn't win, draw, loss, and so it's just pretty funny, man, that it kind of worked out that way. And again, we'll go more into detail on our funny predictions, because I'm sure you guys get a giggle, and hopefully, Joey, you can join us on that one again, and we need to try to get Dustin in here as well, and maybe do a roundtable for the end of the season. But yeah, man, looking forward to it. So don't forget to hold it down and keep it forever orange.